All right. Pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, and to the republic, which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay. So I think the next thing was just to jump in. So we don't need to see any alternates since everybody is here. So we could just jump into looking at some additional departments on the budget. So just looking at the list, I like to hold on Public Works. We come in and we can, when that would be in the next meeting or that workshop that we have. I think, public buildings has several different things. So we can potentially start with that one. It does have salaries. I've done some of the analysis on salaries, but I still have more to go. At least that's one position. So if we want, we can look at buildings. I did move the and everyone my worksheet later, but I moved $1,000 because it's public buildings and properties. So the $5,000 for the Cove, I did move to that department because it is a property and it seems to fit there more logically. And then I think snow and ice removal is just overtime, and engineering is kind of contracted out. So I think, unless anyone wants to hold, I think we can do 310, 325, and 327 tonight. Hold on works and waste disposal so I get a little bit more information for, so I can finish up looking at the salaries so I'll be able to answer those specific questions. And then we can move on to health and wellness and recreation. So with buildings, so with the relocation, of that $5,000, hopefully I did my math right here. The proposed budget is for public buildings and property is $414,867. My math is right. That's $5,000 higher than what you may have in front of you. So that should be the only change. In addition to that, as a new line, there is, we talked about it in the last meeting, there is a new line, flags across Haddam. I think is the other new line. So the total increase from the prior budget, $8,500 coming from those two lines, is $25,347. So most of the increase, the other big part of the increase is increase in electricity by $10,000, which looks like, looking at history, is kind of more in line with what our actual costs have been. Anyone?
Yeah, Joe, this is Dave. When I added in that 5,000 for the Cove, I came up with 419,867. You said 414?
Okay. So we look.
Yeah, this is Bob. Dave, I've got the same thing. I think 414 was prior to the additional 5K.
All right. Well, I just fixed my formula, and I don't think the 3,500 was in there either, based upon what I'm looking at. So that would make the number 423,367.
Right. Yeah, that wasn't in there either.
So again, the number, the correct total would be 423,367, which is $33,847 higher than last year. Again, 10,000 was electric, 3,000 for the hybrid charges, 5,000 just for maintenance of town buildings, 5,000 for the Cove new line, and 3,500 for flags across Haddam are the significant items that increased.
I'll move it. We approve for 423,
423, 267,
867,
367.
367.
That was Wayne.
Right.
Made a motion.
This is Mark Adelberg. I second it.
All right. Thank you. Any further discussion? Okay, is anyone opposed to approving the public buildings and property budget at $423,367? Seeing none, the motion approved. Again, the total being for public buildings and properties, $423,367 approved. The next budget up is snow and ice removal. And this one has overtime, so it's not direct salaries, so that we can ask questions about why that's down, but there won't be a calculation involved in that other than estimating average rates. But so this budget is the request is 306,000 even. The request is a decrease of 15,000 from the prior year. Snow and ice overtime salaries, there's a reduction of 5,000. Contracted services, there's a reduction of 10,000. So, Bob, I don't know if you have any specific notes on why they might be lower, other than we've had mild winters, but
Yeah, basically, that was it. The winters haven't been as bad. If you look historically, these lines were budgeted a little higher than we've been, but I think we all know that, quite honestly, these lines are a crapshoot. It's next year could be another repeat of what was it, 2011, where we had 10 inches of snow, I think, every day in January. So who knows?
right. Okay.
No, this year we only had February.
Yeah,
I'll move that we approve for 306. Wayne.
This is Dave. I'll second.
Any further discussion? Okay, is anyone opposed to approving the snow and ice removal budget at 306,000? All right, seeing none, the snow and ice removal budget is approved for 306,000. Okay. Engineering is next, 327. So this budget request is at $50,000, a $5,000 decrease from the prior year. Historically, the lot, at least for 18 and 19, we were at 30,000 or about 34,000.
Yeah, I guess as I would have to ask, it's Tim speaking. When you look historically, the numbers have been significantly lower. And obviously year to date, the numbers, at least I understand that we are sometime in a lag, are low. The number seems high.
Yeah, I guess, Bob, if you have.
Yeah, I was gonna say, this is Bob. The year-to-date is, I don't think it's an accurate reflection, but I don't think it's a true picture because we've got some major projects coming with the Bridge Road sidewalks, the Haddam Center sidewalks, and the big one is Candlewood Hill. Some of those we have grant funding for, but our contractor engineering services costs, I would rather not cut that line any farther than it's been cut.
So it will look more like 1819 than 1920.
I believe it will.
It's showing, and we do have a lot of roads too, and some of that may or may not be in the bonding, but there's some engineering that goes along with a lot of the road construction we do have coming up.
This is Dave. I'll make a motion that we approve 327 engineering in the amount of $50,000.
And this is Wayne, I'll second it.
Any additional discussion? Okay. Hearing none, is anyone opposed to approving the engineering budget at $50,000? All right. Motion passes, engineering budget approved at $50,000. So I just want to skip over waste disposal. And the next section that would be health and welfare. So number 400, special and senior services. Request $140,196. It's an $8,000, $207 increase from the prior year. Made up of a combination of the municipal agent salary increase, $7,429. Assistance for seasonal salaries increase of $4,000. Decrease in meals for elderly and a decrease in substitute driver salary. So again, net increase of $8,207.
I mean, I for one would just, and maybe I just don't understand it. It concerns me that would have increased infrastructure costs and decreased program costs. And what I mean by that is we're increasing the personnel, but we're dropping the number of meals we provide the elderly. Did something happen? I mean, you would hope that would actually, you would see program costs increase, infrastructure decrease as a percentage because you'd like to be more efficient. That's disappointing, and I guess I don't understand it.
All right, this is Bob. Tim, a couple of points. Last year, both the Board of Selectmen and Board of Finance agreed that the Social Services Director, and that's the first two salary lines in there, was well under budget, underpaid for her work. And so we agreed to a two-year increase rather than putting it all in one. So that's why the salary is increasing for her. The meals for the elderly, the number of meals has not gone down, but the budget is being reduced to reflect more accurately what we're spending. It's been an over budgeted point if you look at the past history on it.
Yeah, and please understand, I'm delighted to be, I think this is a wonderful thing that we do as a community, and I would like to see more. In fact, I'd like to see more in the program costs in the years to come as we try to further support the elderly. So I'm all with it. I'm just saying it's disappointing when I see the infrastructure grow and the delivery to the community not. So I just would hope that we in the future can find ways of doing even more, and I think what they do is stellar. So please understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, this is Bob. Tim, I heard what you're saying, and I agree, but this budget does, I just want to be clear, this budget does not mean a reduction in services to the population that department serves.
Great. And I'm thrilled, obviously. So I, for one, would make a motion that we pass the budget for the $140,196.
This is Dave, I'll second.
Thank you. Any additional discussion on this budget? All right. Is anyone opposed to approving the social and senior services budget at $140,196? So none, motion passes. The social and senior services budget is approved at $140,196. All right, youth and family services. So this budget request is at $98,800. No change from the prior year.
This is Wayne. I'll make a motion we approve for 98,000.
Tim, I would second it.
Any discussion? Budget? Anyone opposed to family services budget? $2,100.
Can we just restate the amount, just make sure we got it right? I thought I heard 98,000.
$98,800.
800, right, oh, good.
All right, so I already asked, anyone opposed? Okay, so motion passes, just the family services budget at $98,000.
This is Bob. I think you skipped the health district cost, 418, the line right above 405, youth and family.
All right, somebody please name the background noises. Yeah, this might be in a different order. I guess health is 418, correct?
Yeah, this is Bob. You're right. The one I'm looking at has 418 listed first, and I don't know why it should be after youth and family, but
Yeah,
Same
mine-
here, Bob. It's the same order on the big budget.
All right, yeah, I'm kind of using last year's form, so that is the next budget to discuss. So health district fee request is 94,000. No change from the prior year, which what's going on, I know this is nothing wrong with it.
So this is Dave, I'll make a motion that we approve 418 health for 94,164.
I'll second it, Wayne.
Great. Any additional discussion on the health fee? All right, anyone opposed to approving the health department fee at $94,164? All right, seeing none, motion is approved. Health district is approved at $94,000. Okay, we're gonna skip over it. We're on the list. we're gonna have that request, so we, I don't know if I printed my, the next meeting is on March 15th, I think.
March what, I'm sorry?
Joe, this is Bob. I don't know if everyone's having trouble or it's just me. I'm getting about every third word.
Yeah, me too.
And a lot of open mics. Please, if you would mute your mic. I think we're all getting a bunch of background noise, and hopefully that helps.
Okay. So I think I was saying our next meeting, I think is, which is a regular meeting first, and then the budget meeting second is on 3/15. And I think we have a workshop scheduled for that Saturday. So for Public Works and for ambulance, and if there's somebody else that we want to talk to, I guess where we think the best day is. Again, the next meeting is going to be a business meeting first, and then we would move into the budget. So is that Saturday still work for a workshop to bring in ambulance, Public Works, and then depending on where we are with capital, there may be some other department that we would want to talk to at that point. So will the 20th work? Or I mean, our business meeting should be fairly quick, but so just trying to get a feel if it's on the schedule, but I just wanted some lead time to be able to kind of line everybody up, so we can get out to them this week and say which day. So the 20th is again a Saturday morning, 9 to whatever, 9 to 12, whatever we need. We've done that the past few years. It seemed to work well to get information, and then normally we would have a meeting that following Monday to kind of to vote on anything, vote on those budgets.
Yeah, this is Dave. Keeping it on 320 works for me.
Okay,
It does.
Yeah, for
This is
Tim,
Wayne. It works for me.
it works for me too, Tim. The question is, do you do this as a Zoom, or are we going to do this in person?
Zoom.
Yeah, I mean, in person might work better. I'm not sure if there's, Bob, the option to do something at HES where it could be spread out. Obviously, for the presenters, they could easily be spread out. It's really the rest of us.
Yeah, we'll check the schedule to see if the HES gym is open. I mean, there's plenty of room there for the board, for the presenters, and anyone in the public who wants to be there.
I mean, I, for one, if we think it's okay, would say do the Zoom, but I don't know if that's, preferred or not preferred, or however, given if we do get together in person, we are very far apart.
This is Dave. They did the Zoom on the Board of Selectmen meeting and had these same departments in, and I thought it worked pretty well.
Yeah, I did too.
Okay, I mean that's fine. Then people don't have to show up, and they can.
Well, just like the Golden Globes, you can come in your jammies.
Right, yeah. Bring your
You're
own
saying
That might not be a pretty look. Let me take that back.
hi, Sandy Olson, and so you're saying it'll be happening both ways?
No. We'll. The consensus is the Zoom worked, and I wasn't at that meeting, but if that seemed to be okay to get the presentation, and then we can just coordinate how we ask questions. That's more the issue. So we would just do it on Zoom.
Oh, good.
Okay, so we'll reach
Yeah,
out for the 20th, and we don't have to book a room. It does just have to book the departments. So we'll work on that this week, and then we can confirm with everybody when that's set up. But the meeting is on our schedule. All right. 320 gives us just a little bit more time to get a little bit more information again, but it will be a workshop. There'll be no votes taken at that meeting. It'll just be gathering information, and then we'll vote on anything or continue discussion. The discussion will happen at the next meeting. Okay, great. So the next budget up is 503, Haddam Parks and Recreation Commission. This budget request is for $44,100, a decrease of $900 from the prior year.
So it looks like, is it primarily a reorganization of the monies from facility maintenance to sanitary facilities? I mean, it looks fine to me, but I mean, just curious as to why one went down and one went up. Especially since this year we didn't have a lot of activity because of COVID. You see what I mean? The flip flop from 02 to 04 in the numbers.
Yeah, I just see two lines went down by 500 and one went up by 100.
Yeah, so it just looks like the money went from maintenance to sanitary, and then there's a delta, which makes it in the positive.
Are you looking at the budget document, or are you looking at, I guess I'm not.
I'm
seeing
looking at, so I'm looking at 02 where it says facility management this year is 2,000 down 100, and I'm looking at sanitary facilities at 2,600 up 100. It looks to me like they just flip-flopped. Do I have the wrong numbers?
Yeah, well, I got the wrong numbers. What I have is a $500 decrease, a $100 increase in facilities, and a $500 decrease.
I'm sorry. You are correct. I said it badly. You're right. 500 down in maintenance and 100 up in sanitary. Again, we're talking about nickels and dimes. I'm just curious as to what they just kind of reallocated the one and whatever.
This is Dave. My guess would be the cost of porta potties went up a little.
Either there, I think it's nominal, so I will take a risk and say, let me be the first to suggest that we make a motion to approve this budget for lines 503 for a total of 44,100.
This is Mark. I second it.
Thank you. Any further discussion on Haddam Park and Recreation Commission budget? Anyone opposed to approving the Haddam Park and Recreation Commission budget at $44,100? All right. Seeing none, motion is approved. Haddam Park and Recreation Commission budget approved at $44,100. So the next budget is recreation, culture, and outside organizations. So this budget request, and this includes HK Authority, Village Park, the library, Haddam River Days, Veteran Affairs, Historical Society, and Cemetery Association. So the request is $504,069. This is an increase of $6,000 from the prior year, and the $6,000 increase is for HK Recreation Authority.
This is Dave. The Board of Selectmen lowered that. They lowered the HK Rec Authority place looks like around $6,000.
Yep.
Oh, they lowered it, right, but compared to last year, it's up
Compared to
6,000.
last year, right? But I'm looking at the line that the Board of Selectmen passed.
This is Mark. Can I ask a question? The spreadsheet I got from Linda for 515, the department total is 491,885 requests for 2021. Is that, are we looking at the same numbers here?
2021, yeah, 491,885.
Correct. 21-22 is 497,885.
Yeah,
Good.
that's the correct number. I'm not sure if there was a formula. There were a couple formulas as I went through that I adjusted, but what I'm looking at, I just checked the formula, is 497,885 is the amount.
Yeah.
Bob, this is Dave. HK Rec Authority, they're in the same building as Youth and Family, right? So they have the same risk of losing their building?
David, this is Bob. Yes, they are. Just for everyone's information, Lori Rutherford was in my office this afternoon to talk about that. They are looking at a number of options. The district has said that they can probably make space available in some of the schools that Lori felt would be appropriate for Park and Rec or Rec Authority. Maybe or maybe not appropriate for Youth and Family. So Youth and Family is also exploring possibly buying that building or striking a deal with the school district to be able to stay in the building, but assume some of the responsibilities for capital costs. So bottom line, yes, there's a chance the two groups would have to move out, but it's too early now to say for sure.
Do you recall, Bob, off the top of your head, why the Board of Selectmen reduced that budget by $6,184?
I know it was based on, this is Bob, we had the representative in and discussed it with them. A lot of their increase was personnel costs. But the decrease was acceptable to them.
They did see in some of their backup that they got a PPP loan, which hopefully will be forgiven. I don't know if that's been decided yet, but so that should have covered personnel costs, during COVID. So I'm not sure if there was an increase, just increased salaries or.
This is Wayne.
They're looking at increases because of the minimum wage increasing.
I see.
This is Wayne. I'll make a motion we approve for the 497,885.
This is Dave. I'll second it.
Any further discussion on recreation, culture, and outside organizations? All right, anyone opposed to approving the recreation, culture, and outside organizations at $497,885? Seeing none, motion is approved. The recreation, culture, and outside organization budget is approved at $497,885. All right, I think the last budget that we can talk about tonight, or education, I guess we'll get some information on Thursday, is the debt service budget, which is $750. And I don't think that's filled in on everybody's,
No.
okay. So I can get that out, or I can,
You want us to read us the numbers? I don't know.
sure. So what last year's number was 1,324,048. This year, what that service is, because we don't really have any flexibility on this, is 1,309,286. It's a decrease of 28,645, and basically that's a decrease in. We have 3 bond issues, so it's a decrease in the interest that's due because interest reduces every year. So reduction of 4,200 for the transfer station issue, 10,562 for the infrastructure issue, and $13,883 for the bond issue, which says 2019, but it's technically 2020 the time they were issued. It was approved in 19, issued in 20.
I'm
So-
sorry, I'm reading for this year's, for last year's 2021 approved budget, a different number than you call that, so my bad, but what I'm seeing on the,
Sorry, I think it's missing the $150,000 that we need to pay to HES. I think when I went through, that line was not there. Is that your difference?
I'm seeing 1174048.
Yeah, there's no line for HES in here though.
117,448 plus the 150 equals the 1324048. So
That's the difference.
yes, so if you looked at our budget, one of our reports that we're operating under now, our last status report, the budget should be the 1324 because the HES was added in the first in the 21 budget.
So we're down about 1%, which is good.
Yeah, Joe, this is Bob. Since the Board of Selectmen hasn't seen this budget, my suggestion would be fill in the numbers, get it to us. We've got a meeting this coming Monday next week. We can approve that then, or at least discuss it then. I assume we'll approve it because you're right, we don't have any flexibility.
Right.
And
Okay.
then come back to the Board of Finance on the 15th, just to
Okay.
keep
Yep.
in line with the forms.
Sorry, I forgot that. Wasn't looking at the column that wasn't approved by the selectmen. So yeah, we get you that. But anyway, I guess that's a discussion on it as far as where it is. But yeah, this is just based upon the debt service schedules and the agreement with HES. These are the numbers. Okay, so I think we're at the point that we've done all we can do tonight. We'll schedule those couple departments. We'll hear about education on Thursday, and then we can discuss that on the 15th. And I'll get this to you, Bob, so you can get that on. And then just from a curiosity standpoint, looking at your meeting for next Monday, any anticipation of insurance and benefit information or police? Insurance, we need a little bit more time, but police, anything showed up on that?
Yeah, this is
Curiosity.
Bob. We haven't gotten anything from state police. I've gotten some information so I can make probably a finer tuned estimate than what you see there. But that's all it would be.
Okay, well, we can wait till you got good numbers. I was curious on if anything else had shown up. Okay. All right, unless there's anything else anyone wants to discuss on the budget, I think we're set as far as we can go without some additional information. Thank you, everybody.
Making progress. Thank you, Jeff.
Nice job, everyone.
This is Dave. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you.
I'll second it.
Wayne will second it.
All right. Awesome. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you on Thursday or in 2 weeks. Good night.
Good night,
Good
all.
night, everyone.
All right, everybody.
Good night.